Most people hear the word alien and instantly think, not from here. But in the Great White Brotherhood framework, that word is misleading. The texts argue that many so-called aliens are Earth-linked either from underground regions of Earth or from realms close to Earth, so the label alien creates confusion before the story even starts. So tonight we're not doing space invaders. We're doing something stranger and more grounded. Neighbors beings described as living in caverns and hollowed-out zones beneath the surface, tied to Earth's long cycle of catastrophes and resets. And we'll keep it clean. No panic, no worship, no certainty. Just pattern mapping. The Canon draws two main underground lines that get mixed up online. One is often called Reptilians, but the text itself says that name is our label, not theirs, and it's not meant as actual lizards. The other is often called Tall Whites, Nordics, and the texts describe them as the same group, also connected to underground living. Reptilians, what the texts claim. Here's what the books claim in plain terms. Reptilians are described as an offshoot close to humanity, a group that chose to live underground long ago, and by doing so avoided repeated extinction-level events that devastated surface civilization. They're said to have developed their own society and craft, and this is important. The text insists they're not one moral block. It says that like humans, there are good, neutral, and hostile types. This is the survival logic inside the Canon. When catastrophe hits the surface, underground continuity can remain. That continuity produces the mythic feeling that someone stayed advanced while humanity rebooted again and again. So the caverns motif isn't just a spooky setting, it's a continuity engine. Now the second group, Tall Whites Nordics. In Aliens, The Strange Truth, the Tall Whites are described as from Earth, associated with being in hollowed-out areas below Earth's surface. And the text even suggests they sometimes use Pleiades, talk as misdirection to keep people from looking toward underground domains. And in Mysteries of Life Book 2, there's an explicit line that tall, beautiful Nordics are identified with tall whites and are said to live in caverns under the earth. Online, the story often becomes Nordics good, Reptilians bad. But the actual text tone is more careful. It keeps repeating a simpler rule. Every group has a spread, and the real danger comes from the few that pursue control because that pattern exists in humans too. So in this episode, we'll use cleaner language. Stabilizers, those who avoid surface chaos and prefer non-interference, opportunists, those who exploit unstable humans. Observers, those who monitor without open contact. No cartoon villains required. Now here's why this topic feels familiar even if you've never opened these books. Modern channels keep circling the same motifs: underground bases, tall whites, reptilians, secrecy, and contested testimony. For example, The Y-Files has episodes focused on alleged underground base stories like Dulcie. And Joe Rogan has hosted major UFO culture conversations, like Bob Lazar and Jeremy Corbell, which helped push hidden infrastructure and who's really here questions into mainstream chatter. But here's the key: virality isn't verification. So we come back to the correction you asked for. In this framework, calling them aliens is a category mistake, because it implies outside our world, while the text claims these beings are either Earth origin or Earth-adjacent realms. That doesn't prove the claim. It just clarifies what the claim is, so we can discuss it honestly. Even if you take this purely as metaphor, the symbolism is strong. The underground is the part of reality that runs beneath public history. The part that survives collapses, the part that influences from below the narrative surface. So caverns can be literal, or it can be a perfect image for hidden continuity. Here's the safety rule for this whole arc. If the story makes you fearful, urgent, or obsessed, pause. If it makes you calmer, more thoughtful, more self-controlled, continue. Because the best defense isn't paranoia, it's clarity. So tonight's takeaway is not pick a side. It's fix the language. Fix the lens. Alien may be the wrong word. Neighbor may be closer, at least, inside this canon. And whether you treat it literally or symbolically, the lesson stays the same. When civilizations collapse, what survives isn't always what's on the surface.